Viva Tequila Seltzer, the #1 hard seltzer in the world and the official hard seltzer of Day Drinking with Dog. Ditch the malt, add tequila. Welcome back, Day Drinking with Dog, on this rainy, what do we got, Wednesday, May 15th, halfway through May. Time just keeps flying by as we move along in this year. Today, this is a show I tried to do back in October of last year. And my friend Kyle Phillips, first of all, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thanks, Jeremy.
You know what? It's such an honor to have you on here. It's an honor to actually have you sitting here.
I finally made it.
For some reasons that were out of your control and something that you survived, and we'll get to that in a second. But I want to thank you for, hold on, let me make sure I can see my own self in the camera here. You brought me, I mean, it's not a Stanley Cup.
It's close enough.
But it's fucking close enough. Beggars can't be choosers, right? But we got here a, where am I in the camera? I can't even tell. Hold on. There we go. Look at that. I'm going to pour my Viva tequila seltzer in here. Oh, yeah.
That sounds great.
Doesn't it? Oh, shit. Don't overflow on me. All over my computer. Thank you so much. So I didn't know you did engraving and all that stuff.
I do. I'm not only an insurance guy. Wife and I have an engraving business.
Oh, we got to talk about car insurance afterwards.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, God. What's going on in that industry?
Horrible.
Holy shit.
Yeah, every company.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Well, like, I am Geico, and I'm paying $240 a month.
Oof.
I haven't had a citation, an accident, nothing.
It's time to look.
So I did. And I'm going to change, and
Yeah.
we can talk about that after the show. But, like, I think I looked at Liberty Mutual just because I like their commercials.
Yep, emus.
Yeah, emus.
Emus do good.
It was cheaper, but they wanted, like, $900 down or something. It's like...
The new problem of the industry. 40% down.
That's like...
Most companies.
Oh, really?
It's insane.
Wow. No kidding.
We don't.
My mic's getting all out of control here. All right, so we are approaching, well, not fast approaching, but October 1st, 2024 will be the 7th, oh my God, 7 years.
Yeah.
Since they call it October, or no, they call it 1 October.
1 October.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's stupid.
We'll get into that in a little bit of why they call it that. But, 1 October, October 1st, 2017 was the Mandalay Bay, basically massacre at the Route 91 concert, which was across the street in Las Vegas, Nevada. And you attended that with your lovely wife, her sister, and brother-in-law. And now, if you hear the name Hotshot involved in any of these conversations, that is your father-in-law.
Yep.
That's Bethany's father.
The one and only.
The one and only. And he has been my regular at Stone Ridge for 20-plus years. And as we just discussed, like, this show obviously would never have happened if you weren't there. But two, the way the story was swept under the rug so quickly, I wouldn't even have thought about it, because I've been thinking about it. I thought about it, like, 2 weeks after it happened, like, where did this story go? And now, as every year approached, like, they barely even talk about it on its anniversary.
Never.
You know?
Actually, never.
Right.
Yeah. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And it's like, okay, they really burying this thing. So, before we get into, like, all the conspiracy theories and reasons why they don't talk about it, and I would love for you to just, tell your story, talk about it as much as you want. I don't really, just the floor is yours. How'd you guys end up? Was this like something you guys had planned for a while? The concert. Now, Aldine was the headliner, but it was a whole day. It was just a 1-day event.
3.
Oh, 3. Yep. So this was the third day.
Yep.
So you've been drunk for 3 days.
Yes.
Okay.
100% drunk. Yeah. I think everybody will attest to that.
Okay. So you're drunk for 3 days.
Yeah.
Were you there all day? Now this was a Sunday. This is the final day.
Sunday, yeah.
Were you there all day?
Not really. We were at the pool at Mandalay for a while.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Once.
So you were staying at Mandalay.
Yeah.
Where all the shit went down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a whole other story.
Yeah.
So we went out there. It was my wife's first time ever to Vegas, and honestly, best trip ever until it wasn't.
Right.
Like, that's how we describe it. Like, it was awesome. We were making plans for 10 other people to come back next year to this thing.
Really?
The guy who hired me to Allstate is actually one of the major guys out there for security at Mandalay. That's how we ended up staying there and talking, and that didn't end well. Wow. So yeah, it was crazy. I was texting him the whole time. I'm like, oh, maybe we can meet Jason Aldean after this, my wife's favorite artist. And he's getting back to me. He goes, oh, I'll see what I can do. Blah, 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 blah. And then it erupted. My sister-in-law thought it was firecrackers, which made sense because all you hear was pop, pop.
Right.
That was it.
I mean, that's pretty much everyone's account.
It was pop, pop.
Yeah,
that was
right.
it. And we're like, oh, get up. What are you driving? She drove to, like, literally dropped to the ground. And I'm like, wait, get up. This is stupid. And then all of a sudden it went, bop, 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 bop. What's that?
Right,
like, that was insane. We all laying on the ground, trying to figure it out. Luckily, my brother-in-law's a fireman, kind of trained, kind of went into, like, training mode.
Training mode,
Let's get out of here.
Survival mode.
Yeah, and he understood when he was about to reload, we got to run. Like, we ran with everybody else. I won't get into too many details, but everybody's like, oh, there was 23,000 people there. No, we were in the main quadrant of where the disaster happened.
Right.
Like, a lot of people were able to exit out the back way. We weren't that fortunate, so we were actually breaking down fences. And I'm sure you read it at some point, the airport got shut down.
Yeah.
With 300 people. We were 4 of the 300 people. We actually broke into the Harrah's hangar, and that's where we got our safety.
Really?
Like, and the whole time, it seemed like an hour.
Right.
It was 10 minutes.
Right.
Like, I had never heard
10:05 to 10:15.
Yeah, never heard a gunshot in my life in person.
Right.
Heard 1,000 that night. People screaming. Saw way too many people actually get hit.
Right.
Unfortunately. Some of them not so lucky. But yeah, it's crazy. It changed our life forever for obvious reasons.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah. It's getting better now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Do you still? do you have any PTSD over it?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as prevalent now. Like,
well, time heals.
yeah,
some stuff, right?
first year was rough. Like
if you hear fireworks now or something.
Fireworks were awful until the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And then even like my wife, she was also a teacher in Newtown when Sandy Hook happened.
Right.
So she's got black cloud following her. She's good now.
Right.
But even fireworks, we're getting better with that type of stuff. But like, obviously you're a Boston fan for everything. So
right.
I thought I was fine when I got back. So this is October. My brother says, let's go up to the Celtics game. And I'm like, sure, fine.
Right.
Couldn't make this up. I go pick him up. We get to Boston. He wants to park in like a parking lot of a hotel. We get out. I open the door, legitimately put my foot on the ground, and an explosion happened. And I dove back into the car, and my brother's just looking at me laughing. He goes, what the heck's wrong with you? He didn't quite get the noise thing. They were shooting off cannons in the Boston Harbor.
Oh, God.
You gotta be kidding me. So I'm like, all right, I'm fine. Walking across the bridge.
Yeah,
right? Walking across the bridge, and all of a sudden, jackhammers are happening with the construction. I'm like, that is the same sound.
Right.
Like, it was crazy. So I forgot what bar we were at. It was right across the. It's a fame. I don't go to Boston that much, but it was.
I'll tell you which one. Where were you exactly?
Give me a name.
Well, I mean, were you near like Fenway or were you near TD Garden?
No, right near TD Garden. Yeah.
Oh, there's the
right
harp.
across the street.
There's the harp. There's
the harp. That is actually it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there, and my brother's got to go to the will call and get the tickets. So he leaves me, and all of a sudden I hear bartenders doing the shakers, people walking by with like winter coats on. I'm like, oh, they got guns. I'm like, oh, I'm not okay. This is crazy. I'm like, every little thing was bothering me. Then we went inside the garden. I'm fine. Saw Paul Pierce there. He was in the crowd. I'm like, yeah, we're fine. If he's here, I'm fine.
He got stabbed once.
Yeah, right. We're good. But yeah, it took a while. Like, even like going out to like the bars here.
Right.
Like, it's like I was looking around, like, who's got what. Like,
right.
It was crazy. I don't even think twice about it.
I couldn't imagine like just being there, and Hotshot has told me, your story, and obviously it's his daughter's as well.
Yeah.
And again, if that's all you want to talk about, that's fine. But one thing I wanted to point out is that you guys had moved up, right? Like it was in between. Yeah, it was in between sets. And Aldean was coming
blame
up.
that on my wife. She's obsessed with Jason Aldean.
Right. So you guys had a gap to move forward.
Yeah.
And had you not done that,
we'd be done.
You'd be done.
Yeah. Guy, legitimately, when the volley started, probably 4 feet, 5 feet behind me. You could see it. Like, it was like I like to say, parting of the seas.
Yeah.
Like, you could just see it happening. We're like, what is happening? Like, it must be a fight. It's got to be a fight.
Right.
And then it's just like, boop, 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 boop. People just getting knocked down.
Right.
And the guy where we were standing could have been 1 or 2 off, but it was right there. Gone.
Oh.
Crazy.
Right.
And that's the one time I will say, good job, Bethany.
That's the one time?
Right? The one time. Obsessed with Jason LD, we got to go 4 feet further.
Right.
Crazy.
Now, when I was in Nashville and I saw you, we went to the Post Malone concert.
That's right.
You know,
I wish I went to that.
Yeah,
I'm now obsessed with Post.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I think he just did a song with Morgan Wallen.
He did.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Did Coachella.
That was like the one good thing she's ever done for me because I didn't know him really well. I'm like, all right, you introduced me to Post Malone. Cool.
Right. That's awesome.
I mean, I don't buy his shit, but I like him. So walk me through now. You're in the hangar at the airport. Now, you've told me before. I think it could be hot shot, but they wouldn't let you back in the hotel, right?
Oh no.
And I heard that all you wanted to do was get your shit.
Yeah. So
and they wouldn't let you.
So we were in the hangar for probably hour and a half. I mean, I have no idea, to be honest. I thought it was an hour and a half. It seemed like an eternity.
And you still have about a gallon of Jack Daniels in you.
Correct.
You've sobered up, but it's still in your bloodstream.
So in the hangar, we probably had 60 people in there with us.
Yeah.
And some people had blood on them, and I'm like, what is going on? It wasn't their blood, but it was trying to help other people.
Right.
Like, it was crazy. So while other people are making sure everybody's okay, I believe my brother-in-law Todd actually broke into the hangar and found all the water, and I went past that and found all the beer. The Harris has a private thing, so I was fine.
Of course you did.
I felt like we were safe. So everybody else freaking out. I'm like, I'm handing out beers to people whoever wanted them.
Is it true they shut the lights off at the airport on the runways?
They did.
Why?
Because it got breached. Like, we broke down the fence.
Yeah.
It was weird.
I heard the lights shut off for 2 hours.
So cops thought we were the ones. Like, they kind of surrounded the building at first. They're like, this is actually okay. This is people that were actually the concert goers.
Leaving it, yeah.
Yeah. So once it all got cleared out, they shipped us over to the UNLV arena. And that's where the FBI came by and each one by one, what did you see? Who did you blah, 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 blah. So then...
the FBI were already there?
They got there. I mean, this is 4 hours later, 5 hours later. I say FBI. I think it was FBI. Again, a little... Out of my eye.
2 in the morning-ish?
Probably 2, 3, something like that. I was out of my mind at that point. Like, what are we doing? Like, can't sleep.
What just happened? Right.
Yeah, I couldn't even fathom it.
Right.
And I'm thinking about my parents back home.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I'm not calling them yet. They're sleeping. Obviously, they're going to wake up and see it at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Which my mom told me on Mother's Day. She goes, I can't believe you didn't call me. I'm like, but Mom, I was going to wake you up. You guys would have had a heart attack.
Right.
I waited so I thought you were up, and I said, we're good. This is what happened, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Crazy. So when everything was cleared, they said, oh, good news, you guys could go back to your hotel. And I'm like, we're staying at Mandalay. And like, yeah, you can't. Well, what are we supposed to do? Like, we have a flight at 8 a.m. or something like that.
So you guys were scheduled to leave in 4 hours.
Yeah, all of our stuff is at Mandalay. Like, everything. Like,
right.
What are we supposed to do? So we just went to the airport and hung out for 4 hours. Crazy.
Now, you didn't have the keys to your car.
We had nothing. Nothing.
Did they send it back to you?
So the guy that I know, luckily.
If you didn't know him, probably.
I called him when we landed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We were on the tarmac, and he goes, yeah, they opened up Mandalay if you want to come back and get your stuff. I'm like, we're on the tarmac getting out of here.
Right.
Of course, we're probably the only 4 people that literally just went through this on the plane.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if you look around, we smelled. Like,
you're still in the same clothes.
Yeah, we went through hell.
Did you have blood on you?
I did not. No, but there was no details. So I'm like, what are we gonna do? I land and I'm like, all right, we just got home. What are you gonna do? So he goes, you got to call whatever the front desk at Mandalay, blah blah blah. Worst conversation I ever had. It's still, I make jokes. This is what I do. Uncomfortable jokes. This is what I do. I call him like, Kyle Phillips. We were in room whatever it was. I'm like, and my sister-in-law was in room blah, blah, blah. We need to get our stuff. And she goes, oh, I'm so glad you guys called. What do you mean? Well, we have 19 rooms of stuff and you're the only people that have called. And I was like, oh. In my head, I'm thinking, why? They're gone.
Right.
Crazy.
Right.
I didn't even think about it. So then I said, make sure you get the stuff in the safe. Oh, that was $123. I went, $123? I'm like, should have been $900. And she goes, what? I went, oh, that's right. I lost the New Orleans Saints Seahawks bet. In the morning.
Dude, fucking stick that line going, man.
Crazy. I know, but I lost the bet. I lost the bet. Yeah, and I'll tell you, to this day, after
what was the bet again?
I think it was Seattle, New Orleans. They were in England that day.
Okay. Oh,
so it was really early. I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go place the bet.
Right.
And I swear, in hindsight, I saw this idiot that did the shooting. There was no one else around. This dude only did the high-end
video poker.
Yeah. And I remember I actually texted one of my friends that day and said, there's some degenerate dude playing video poker at 6 o'clock in the morning at the high roller thing. Had to be him. Had to be. Which, if I only knew.
Right? Well, sir, are you going to shoot up a concert tonight?
What is your plan, buddy? Well, that's a crazy thing. Like, everybody's like, oh, how did he get all the guns in? He was there a week ahead of time. 4 or 5 times, I think, he came in with 5 or 6 different bags. He had balls. He had people actually help him with his bags.
Well,
and it's on camera. With guns.
Speaking of cameras, where is all this footage?
There's footage
of
him coming in and out of the...
Yeah, you going in the service elevator.
Yeah.
How does he get in the service elevator?
High roller. That's all they said. I don't know. Yeah. I'm glad he's gone.
Now, Las Vegas is probably is the most surveillanced city.
Yep.
Definitely in America, probably the world.
Yeah, gotta be.
You know, or like, you know, Monte Carlo or these casino styles.
Of course.
And it's a lot of this shit has just been scrubbed. Gone. There was a camera footage from Tropicana so the Tropicana is like kind of across the street, right?
Yeah.
And I guess they have like just continuously running footage of everything around their property. And one of them shows right where the shooter was shooting. And it's gone. Because a lot of theories are, I know you believe it's one shooter, right?
I do.
Okay. A lot of the, but you could admit maybe there were 2 in the room.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it's one location, in my opinion. Could be 2 or 3 in there. Because there's a lot of weapons.
Right. And he didn't touch a lot of this shit either. Yeah. There's a lot of ammo left over.
A lot.
This is where this is kind of where like the irony of shooting up a country concert comes in.
Yeah.
Because 95% of them, and you're the 5%, are gun people.
Yeah.
And they've heard guns, or war veterans,
for sure.
Or they're Second Amendment people.
Yeah.
And a lot of them claim that they heard guns. You say it could have been echo, which actually, as I watched a lot of this video research I've done myself, I actually thought that to myself. I'm like, well, I mean, especially when you hear it, it does sound almost like it could bounce off, the Luxor or Tropicana come back, and who knows? Because that is definitely a possibility. Mm-hmm. Because when I conclude my conclusion, there is no conclusion.
There's no conclusion.
There's no conclusion. Yeah. So
there's no conclusion by you, cops, FBI, anything. It's crazy.
But there's so much scrubbed information, and this is where Las Vegas PD comes in. They might be the most bumbled, fucking organization in the world, starting with the chief Lombardo. Mm-hmm. Just that I don't trust a Lombardo, just in general,
Right.
And I watched all his pressers, and I apologize because I may be jumping around on timelines here.
You're fine.
But I'm trying to watch this stuff and watch the Bruins or Celtics at the same time at night. Right. I can't watch this when my girlfriend and her son are up and we're having dinner. Yeah. I gotta wait, and there's shit on TV too. Yeah. So I offer my apologies in advance. But the shooting's 10:05, 10:15.
Yep.
You lived it. You did what you did. You got over to the airport. Now this is where it kind of gets kind of crazy. And I'll tie it all together at the end. And I'm not going to drag too much into this, but there was hundreds of 911 calls.
Yeah.
From civilians. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you're thinking, well, The shooting just happened at Mandalay Bay. But these were at a minimum of 12 other locations that literally generate where the shooting happened, and they go straight up north the Strip. And it's from, starts at Tropicana, and then it's Paris, Excalibur, goes up to Caesars, Mirage. The Bellagio was the big one. Bellagio was like in the lobby, 2 shooters. And Bellagio employees were actually calling 911. Civilians in the lobby were calling 911. There's video footage or it's actually not even Bellagio. This is what's killing me. Every inch of every mile is covered. So there was a shooting in what's called the Miracle Mile, which is the shops at Caesars, outside of Planet Hollywood, and there was a Fat Burger that there was, it's just all popping up. And I'm not saying these weren't staged calls, but they really weren't investigated. And the timelines from the LVPD just get completely kind of crazy. So 10:15, the shooting ends, and I'm going to get into the security guard that was there. But the police didn't breach the door till 11:27.
Correct.
That's an hour and 12 minutes later.
Yeah.
Why? Because they didn't hear any more shots? They didn't know the guy was dead.
Right.
That's the fucking door.
Crazy. Yeah.
Now there's 2 doors, both locked from the inside.
Yeah.
So now there's a guy. What floor was it? The 32nd.
32nd.
There's a guy in the 31st. Now at 11:30, calls the front desk and says, "I just heard an explosion and glass shattering above me."
Yeah.
So here's the theory that comes in from the second shooter, not on the ground shooter, second shooter in the room, is you don't see the 2 windows shatter till the next morning when they're taking pictures. So the theory is that it was Paddock, maybe another shooter, but the theory is that the police broke the second window.
Never heard that.
Never heard that, right? Well, I didn't hear a lot of that shit till I fucking started researching
It's definitely possible.
So the plates were called in 11:30. Now 11:30 is right at 11:27 when they breached it. So there's that. Now, some more timelines later after that. At 11:59, there was one more volley. At 11:59, 9 officers picked it up on their body cams. I watched all 9 of them. It was just automatic gunfire volley, and they all say it was coming from Bellagio. Never investigated after that.
That is the first time I heard that one.
At 12:23, there was a report of an active shooter on the 4th floor of Mandalay Bay at 12:23 a.m. At 12:31, this is 8 minutes later, LVPD tweets, "No more shooters, everything's safe." Just 8 minutes after that. Now, meanwhile, all these other places are having all these accounts of, there was people that literally 2 civilians turned in handguns to the police, never investigated again. Outside the Tropicana in the parking lot, there was accounts of active shooters on the ground, and people hiding in bushes, people changing clothes, people walking away calmly as everyone else was running, kind of thing. And they actually paved over that parking lot like 5 days later. So they couldn't do any, what do you call it?
Which parking lot?
Tropicana.
Oh.
So like they were saying, like if the bullets were, they found casings everywhere, and then everything was gone. So again, I could go crazy on this. If you guys want to watch it, I suggest you watch it too. It was a documentary called Route 91.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
You saw it?
Yeah.
What'd you think? This is where I'm getting all my info.
Insane. I never heard about the one on 4th floor Mandalay thing.
No?
Nope.
Well, there could be a couple of them.
I gotta look it up.
You gotta look at it. Mindy Robinson did it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't know. So
the whole thing is crazy.
No, it is. So here's the...
It's the biggest shooting in American history, and no one knows what happened. At least all the other crazies had something.
So this guy was...
Manifesto or whatever weird stuff.
This Paddock guy...
Yeah. He lost millions. Okay.
Right. Well, first of all, he plays... Who doesn't lose millions playing fucking high-limit fucking video poker?
Video poker. Moron.
Dumbass. What, just to get a suite?
Seriously.
So this guy started working at Lockheed Martin, then he was in finance a little bit.
His dad was on America's Most Wanted.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that?
All right.
Bank robbery.
So a little more about this guy. He had 3 other women's names registered to that room.
Oh, yeah.
His ex... no, not his ex-wife. Well, his ex-wife was they interviewed her. They were divorced for like 27 years. She's like, get the fuck away from me.
What is she doing? Yeah.
But then there was another lady, a black lady, and her credit card was left on the scene.
Yep.
And then she just disappeared. Not like died, but like just kind of was gone.
Yeah.
And they didn't question any of these people. They didn't question the 3 ladies that were on. They could have been fucking hookers for all.
There was another one that night. I think I forgot her name. Is the girlfriend. She shipped back home to another country. Literally that night, they let her leave.
Really?
I forgot her name. I was like, what? What? How are we letting her leave the country?
Right.
There's something about her that seemed very strange.
Now,
and he gave her $200,000 to go.
Right.
Okay.
Here's the October 2nd LVPD timeline. Real quick, just a couple things.
Yeah.
10:05 first shots. Now, this stays consistent. At 10:14, guard Campos approaches the suite.
Yep.
And then at 10:15, the last shots are fired. Oh, and he shot. Sorry. 10:14, he approaches the suite and a shot. 10:15, last shots are fired. Due to Campos' intervention.
I thought he got shot a little earlier than that. No?
Well, here, this is the first time.
Yeah.
Now, on October 9th, at 9:59, Campos approaches Paddock's room looking for an alarm that was going off.
Yes.
He is shot and notifies security. 10:05 first shots, 10:15 last shots. Then on October 13th, 9:59, Campos shot Campos approaches due to alarm. 10:05, Campos is shot. So in 3 different timelines, he's shot at 3 different times. Now Campos, after this happened, would not do any interviews.
Correct.
Until he went on the Ellen DeGeneres show.
DeGeneres.
Okay.
Of all places.
Well, Ellen is a big. She is paid handsomely by MGM for her slot machines.
For sure.
So he agreed to do the interview with her with no hard questions, and then after that he signed a NDA.
Yeah. Yep.
And MGM paid him all the money that he got in his GoFundMe and bought him 2 condos in Henderson.
Yeah.
And you never heard from him again.
Correct.
Now, if you watch that interview and then you watch the body cam footage, he said he got shot in the right leg and was bleeding.
Yeah.
And the body cam footage, his left leg pant is up and he's not bleeding.
Yeah, nothing about Campos.
Nothing about Campos makes sense.
No.
And he wasn't a licensed security guard.
No.
I guess in Vegas, it's like being a bartender. You have to be licensed.
Right.
You know? I mean, I'd be number 1 out there.
Yeah, obviously. Except the way you look.
Oh, dude, come on. Old Vegas. I can't work in Old Vegas.
Oh, Old Vegas. Yeah. Old Vegas. Yeah.
So, and then some other weird shit, and I don't want to keep going after this because you were there. So the bump stock thing, right? Yeah. So this kind of goes to Trump. Trump's the one that signed off on getting rid of bump stocks.
Yep.
Now, I know nothing about bump stocks before this thing happened.
Never even heard of that before.
Right, never heard of it myself either. Doing a little research, bump stock is basically an addition you put to the base of the gun, and as you pull the trigger, it's got a recoil of its own, like this fucking microphone.
Yeah, what's going on there?
I know, I got to do some WD-40. And it just uses the force of the bullet, and you just hold the trigger down, and it just kind of does this for you instead of a fully automatic. Right.
Yeah.
But they suck. They don't work.
Right.
Most gun enthusiasts that they interviewed are like, I don't really give a fuck. Some are like crazy over the top. Don't take away my rights. But I think because Trump had just become president, I think he's just a businessman. And he's like, all right, I'll give you this. Take the bump stocks away. Go ahead. You know, and there's something else that he took. All right. You ready for my theory?
I'm ready. I've been waiting for this the whole time.
I know you have. All right. Oh, before I get to the theory, there was a girl, Kimberly Sumakel. I never read about this. Maybe I did, but again, well, no, I probably didn't because it was 7 days after, or 8 days after she was found dead in her room. She was there, lost a lot of friends, and claimed of multiple shooters to the police and FBI, and started a kind of a Facebook group, like consolation group, victims and people, and she was found later dead,
like
8 days later
in Vegas or home.
No, at home.
At home.
Could be complete coincidence.
Weird.
Who knows?
Yep.
But she was very active about what she saw. And then Danny Contreras found dead.
Heard that name.
Yeah. 2 weeks later, of a gunshot wound.
Yep.
And then there was another couple that was high on the multiple shooter aspect, and they were found dead like 3 months later.
Yeah. I mean,
so I see why you are going with the one shooter theory.
I'm going with one shooter. I'm not getting shot dead, man. But trust me, if it was multiple, I wouldn't be shocked either. Like the whole thing is just bizarre.
All right.
Like bizarre.
So here's my theory.
Let's go.
And this is from a couple different things, and I just kind of crossed them into each other. So Trump wins election.
Yep.
Becomes president in January of 2017.
Thank God.
So he goes on this, they call it a capitulation tour, but it's basically a tour visiting all of the major world leaders. Starting in May 20th of 2017,
yep.
He goes to Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
He does a sword dance with the Saudis, which no other U.S. president has ever done.
Yeah.
And a sword dance basically is what they did in historical times when they went to war. They would do a sword dance before battle to show their might, to show their weaponry, to show how skillful they are. And it's just more of a sign of, force now. It's not really they don't do this now before war. They just drop bombs. But, so Trump's actually there with Melania, and they're doing this sword dance. Well, Trump shows up to this with basically folders upon folders of their corruption, and basically makes them bend a knee to Trump. And so this is Trump's first stop on the world tour. And he's basically saying, all right, we're taking down the swamp. We're taking down the fucking deep state.
Yep.
We're taking down the cabal. And I need you guys on board. So they let Trump do the sword dance, and all right, he's got them. Then he flies off to Israel, gets them. Now Israel and Saudi Arabia have not had a conflict since. Then he goes off to the Vatican. And the Pope, if you see him when he was with Obama, he's all smiles and giggly and shit. Well, Trump rolls right in. Again, I wasn't there.
Right.
Trump rolls right in and says, all right, no more of this sex shit with the kids. Fucking stop it. Seriously.
It's a fair point.
Yeah. That's one of the biggest things he's trying to get rid of. No, you can crack it.
There we go.
And so now if you see pictures of the Pope with Obama and pictures of the Pope with Trump, he's literally like, fuck. Like, whatever. So now we go back to Saudi Arabia, and there's the Saudi crown prince bin Salman.
Yep.
He's a good guy. And apparently he was there. He was in Vegas at the time.
Yeah.
And Trump alerted him to that. And Trump alerted that the former crown prince Al-Walid, who at the time controlled Twitter with Mr. Dorsey before Elon Musk bought it, he told him, there's a hit out on you. And Al-Walid planned to assassinate him. And Al-Walid owned the top floors of Mandalay Bay.
I forgot what they're called. The first top four. It's actually technically a different hotel.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a different name.
Yeah. Is it really?
Yeah. Blanking on it right now.
It's not called The Hotel, is it?
No.
Because there's the Mandalay Bay. What's next to it?
Delano.
Yeah.
No, the top floor, because I read about this before, and I was like, what hotel is that? The top four floors were a different thing.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah.
So Trump alerts him knowing that now bin Salman, if he survives this, is going to owe Trump. And then just 3 weeks later, the Saudi government is overthrown on October 24th. And bin Salman has everyone arrested, including Al-Walid. Right? So here's my theory of how the night went down.
Do it.
Okay. They don't know where fucking bin Salman is. Maybe he's a country concert goer. I have no idea. This one's a little sweeter than that.
Look at that.
Maybe they think he's at the concert.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Paddock, we don't really know who is. There's no manifesto. There's no nothing. There's no motive behind the shooting.
Absolutely nothing.
He literally this fucking Paddock guy paid off his fucking tax winnings like 3 weeks prior. Who does that if you know you're gonna fucking shoot up a fucking concert and kill yourself, right? So now we don't know where the guy is, or the Saudis don't. Alawi doesn't know where he is, and so now there's helicopters in the area. There's helicopters that they say may have landed on the roof of Tropicana. picking people up, dropping people off. They're trying to find this guy. Again, this is my own dumb theory in my head.
That's it. Keep going.
So the shooting happens, and now in chronological order, when you move up the strip, there are multiple reports of gunmen not shooting people, running through lobbies. Are they trying to find this guy? And it goes all the way up the strip, all the way up to the Mirage. That's getting to the top. It's not quite at the stratosphere yet. But, and I know the strip pretty well. I've been there in a while, and they're going up and they're trying to locate this guy and they can't find him. And then they just finally give up. And then 3 weeks later, all these guys are fucking arrested and thrown away. Like, I just, that's my theory, is like, this was all about getting kids.
Can't say you're wrong.
No, I know, and that's the thing. Like,
there's nothing.
I mean, there's
right
ISIS claimed responsibility for this,
absolutely.
and ISIS rarely claims responsibility for something they didn't do.
Agreed. Yeah.
You know, and then there's the gun runners. There's the FBI. There's a million theories out there.
Insane.
But you know what? The only theory that doesn't hold water is what the Las Vegas Police Department told you.
I agree.
You know, whether it was the one shooter or not, they're fucking fucked. And the lead investigator on the scene, he was the chief was Lombardo. Hold on, I'm gonna have it written down here. Side note. His name was John Pelletier. He was the... I can't read my own fucking writing. Anyway, he was in charge of the strip, basically, investigative on the strip.
What was the name?
John Pelletier.
Yes, yeah, I heard.
Do you know what he does now?
No.
He is the chief of police in Maui and was head of the whole fires that broke out.
Come on,
swear to God.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So you know how the media portrays it?
Really?
Yeah. He goes, "Oh, this guy knows how to handle fucking."
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Don't bring him here.
So, like, if I mention Sandy Hook to you, what do you think of?
Whoa.
No, just like
in general?
No, like an honest answer. Like, kids died. It was a tragedy, right?
Wife worked around there.
Yeah.
And,
9/11. What do you think of?
Obviously,
right.
Yeah.
Towers going down. Friends. Yeah. I mean, we all lost probably people we know. You know, Columbine.
Yeah.
Another school shooting, right?
The first one that we know of.
Yeah. 1 October.
In our era, at least.
Then there's 1 October.
Yeah.
Who knows what 1 October is besides you?
Yeah.
I never heard of it until I started watching.
They stopped talking about it on 3 October.
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
this was the
we've said it
quickly scrubbed fucking.
It was all over the news for 2.5 days. 2.5 days. It's the largest massacre in U.S. history. Reality. 58 died that day.
Oh, they count the other 2 for that died
2
later.
afterwards, but it's 58. But yeah, the news stopped reporting it.
Well, it's funny how like
like you said earlier, every anniversary.
Yeah, nobody even says it.
Everyone watch this 1 October.
Yeah.
Watch the news and see how much, if at all, they mention it.
Correct.
It'll be 7 years. They won't.
They won't. They might say it on 10 year.
Right.
Oh, this happened 10 years ago, and then move on. Crazy.
So they sued, the victim sued MGM.
Yeah.
And MGM, so all the hotels that I mentioned along that line are all owned by, MGM owns 90%
almost
of
all of them. Yeah,
yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah.
And I guess they were ordered to pay $800 million finally. And I read 90% of the money went basically to the lawyer fees.
Yeah.
And,
ton of it did.
Yeah, and MGM only fucking paid a fraction of it because all the insurance companies paid it. So it didn't affect them at all.
Yeah, not at all.
And they were probably, if this was an inside job like FBI or government, they probably got fucking...
Right.
Listen, I get kind of burying the story because they're a tourism city.
For sure.
And you know, they could have lost...
You
got to move on.
Yeah.
But just to cover it up.
Now it's a parking lot.
Right.
They paved over that whole site. Which drives me crazy a little bit.
Right.
It's like not even a Memorial there. Memorial is 3 miles off the strip.
You know what's crazy? I had a girl on here once, and she investigates child trafficking, and we talked about Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
And she said, you know why they demolish all this shit? It's just to cover shit up.
That's crazy.
Like, you look at Adam Lanza, the shooter. There's one photo of him. It's like the Paddock photo. It's him with his eyes closed, leaning back like this. Yeah. Like, that's the image you're going to fucking put out to people?
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
Freaking Paddock. Ruined my life for a while.
I know.
Bastard.
You know, and Did you see that? I don't know. All right, I might just end it there because there's the.
You can just keep going.
You really can't.
There's no resolution to it. You can just keep going, all different angles.
And there really is.
Yeah.
Like again, the only argument you can't make is for the LVPD.
Right.
You know, there's a million other ways to look at this.
They did a horrible job.
Yeah. And
I will say their response.
Were you ever investigated by? You said you were investigated by the FBI.
Just questioned. Yeah, just questioned. Yeah. We didn't have anything, so that's it. One and done.
But you guys did have stuff.
We didn't see much besides of people
dying.
Yeah. You know, just that. It's crazy. Like we obviously didn't see the shooter. Or
but like Paddock's fucking body.
Yeah.
There was a blood stain on top of a dry blood stain.
I know. His
leg was under a gun.
That's crazy.
And then if you talk to the gun nuts, they see the whole scene. They're like, well, no.
So,
and there's no way this dude's getting all these headshots with a bump stock. But it wasn't a bump stock. Those are fully automatic weapons.
And the way I describe this forever, because the 32nd floor from Mandalay, that far away, if you look at the video from that room, because there are videos from there, you're firing into a fishbowl.
Right.
Like it's literally raining bullets.
Yeah.
Just go up, see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounded like he tried to like blow up the gas tanks first.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing I can think of. You hit those like 3 or 4 times, see what happens.
Well, Hotshot told me that those gas tanks will not blow up on gunfire.
They won't.
There's some chemical in that.
Wow,
in that
he knows that?
Yeah.
Wow.
He said there's some chemical in that fuel.
I must have told him
that.
You can't be that smart. It is true.
Yeah,
it's true. It's true, though. It's actually designed to not...
Yeah, you can't just shoot at them and it won't ignite.
If that happened, we're all dead. Because that's where we were running to.
Right.
Like, we were running to that. It's crazy.
Run to the sun.
Right? Real quick, though, it is funny, though. My obsession over dogs is what probably ended up saving us from potentially getting shot. So earlier in the concert... I love dogs, and I'm coming back from the porta potties, and this one guy, probably a 60-year-old man, is holding this cutest little puppy. Not supposed to have dogs in there. So I went and grabbed Todd, and I said, Todd, you got to see the dog. So he said, a couple days later, when I brought him over to see the dog, he saw an exit that we didn't know was on that side of the festival.
Oh, really?
And so that's where we ran towards. So because of my obsession over dogs, that's the exit we went to while everybody else was getting there. I mean, that was poorly designed. There was no exits. Like, people were trapped against fences. Nowhere to go.
Why?
Well, bad job by Harvest Fest. 3 years. That was the same design every year. So we went out the back way, which, because again, I saw a dog.
I see a dog.
Yeah, I saw a dog. Don't be run to that thing.
Man.
Dog. This is good.
Yeah. Hope everyone got the nice little effervescence of the Viva.
Right, let's move on from Vegas.
All right, so you gave me 40.
Let's talk about the greatness.
Hold on.
No,
I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
No, probably not.
No.
I don't think your theories.
Actually, if you want to really looking at just corruption of Vegas, Google Governor Sisolak.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah,
that's got to be good stuff.
There's a whole other show.
Good stuff.
There's whole other shows you can do on this shit.
That place is crazy.
Before we get into your team, well, we're gonna kind of get into your team right now, but
let's go.
Again, I want to thank you for telling that story. I'm sure it's. I don't want to have to rehash crazy.
I'm good.
You know, I still rehash. You know, the giant Super Bowl against the Patriots. Not so much the second one. The first.
Did you
one.
like the roast?
I did.
The roast was phenomenal.
Yeah, I think it was. I think everyone that criticizes it, I don't think has ever seen a roast before.
Correct. Absolutely correct. I think it was great.
You know, like, who's this Jeffrey Ross dude? Like, do you guys even have Comedy Central at your fucking house?
Nikki Glazer?
Absolutely fine. I'd let her roast me.
Yes.
100%.
She can roast me all day long.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah. I mean, everyone's like, oh, they went a little overboard talking about Giselle and Aaron Hernandez and the kids. I'm like, well, this is what they're paid to do.
Aaron Hernandez shouldn't have killed anybody.
I mean, you know, look, he got bumped.
Yeah.
You know, some guy talked shit about him. You got to execute him.
It happens.
Maybe there's a tie with Hernandez in Vegas. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, right.
No, but this is Jet related. So I saw this morning. You know, I texted you about the Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
Actually, I screenshotted him. So, Sauce Gardner apparently. I followed him because of this. I mean, I'm not following Jet players.
You should.
Yeah. So some lady, Sally Mitchell, who's probably close to 80 years old.
That's the best part.
Tweets at him, if only you would get handsy with me as you do with wide receivers. So Sauce actually writes her back and says, Sally, I get that you feel you are a very attractive gilf, which is a grandmother I'd like to fuck, but no means no with a smiley face. She writes back, fine. Any teammates of yours I can move on to? And this is one of those mic drop Twitter moments.
Such a great answer.
He writes back, I'll hit Zach up to see if he's ready to upgrade from MILF to GILF.
That would be Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
The MILF hunter.
Bang was his best friend's mom last year.
Unbelievable.
I thought he was going to be a legend. I thought this was 2 years ago, right?
His
it wasn't Aaron
mom's
Rodgers
best
year.
friend.
His mom's best friend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, buddy.
Dude, good for him.
Much better than being a quarterback. Yeah.
But, you got to give the guy credit.
Yeah.
His career's going to go down the tanks.
He owned it. It's fine.
That card I gave you was probably worth
$40 at least 6 cents now.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be at least worth the $20.
It's a nice card. It's a different person.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not licensed, but it's his auto.
It's absolutely brutal.
So the big schedule is being released tonight. And of course, they leak more games than fucking whatever. But the Jets' first game has been released. And I literally laughed out loud when I saw this morning. Thinking of you.
So did I.
And didn't want to make this a complete, just depressing episode of your experience in Vegas and your Jets team that kind of rivals your experience in Vegas from your life. Just one...
Damn. You're not wrong.
But you have to... Your first game of the year, I think last year was a Sunday night. This year's a Monday night. And
no, I believe it was Monday night.
No, because I was at the casino.
Really?
Yeah.
Buffalo at New York?
Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe
I was flying home from a Minnesota wedding and very excited on the plane until someone popped.
Oh, yeah, you are right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Where was I, though? I might have been at the casino on a Monday night.
Shocker.
Well, those are my days off. Anyway, so it's Monday night at San Francisco.
Yep.
Who, this offseason, signed the guy that chased down Rodgers in that 4th play of the year last year that took him out for the season. Thoughts?
Well, on a positive note, if he goes 5 plays, it's better.
See, that is such a Jet mindset.
So, as I said before this whole thing started, if the Jets stay healthy, they've got a roster to compete.
But that's a key with so many teams.
No.
You can't. You're already making excuses.
Well,
you're already expecting a fucking injury.
Correct.
To one of your, let's say, one of your big 3.
I'm expecting either Rodgers or the left tackle.
Yeah. Well, left tackle's gonna miss 4 games.
He's gonna miss at least 4.
Yeah.
So last year,
but you signed him knowing that,
which is 7 and 10 last.
And I like that you drafted a lineman.
Yeah,
that was a good pick.
Actually, smart.
Yes,
we did the right move.
Right. Wow. Shocker.
I thought for sure we were going Bowers. 100%.
Me too.
Let's just be the stupid move again. Let's get it tight end. But we 7 and 10 with Zach Wilson, Trevor Siemian. Rodgers doesn't have to be MVP Rodgers. He has to be above average.
Right.
They've got everything else. But as a Jets fan, we know what's going to happen.
Right.
Someone times 7 will get hurt.
So my prediction this year is Rodgers goes about 12 games and then lets you down. Gets hurt. You guys are let's see, after 12 games, you guys are 8-4, 9-3. Yeah. Leading the division or right up there with Buffalo. Probably beat the Patriots once already. You're texting me. Your fucking Drake May sucks. You're high in life. You're May. I am fucking living life right now. The Jets are back, baby.
Well,
and then you guys play I wish I had the schedule in front of me that I could pick out the game. But
so it'll be very similar to the year that I became a Jets fan with Ken O'Brien. 9-1, 9-2, and somehow lost all the rest of the games.
You guys are 10-1.
Yeah, 10-1.
Joe Walton was your coach.
Yep. Ken O'Brien, Al Toon, Wesley Walker, Freeman McNeil.
You guys didn't make the playoffs.
Didn't make the damn playoffs.
10-1.
I became a fan.
That was the first year?
Yep.
Did you not like football before that?
I didn't really. understand football.
Okay.
To be honest, I was like 87, so I was 10. Something like that. I was born in 77.
Okay.
Yeah. So, basketball family, obviously.
Yeah.
But, yeah. My dad was a Giants fan. Brother was a Giants fan. I went Jets.
That was a
poor decision. Yeah.
You chose poorly.
Should we do the baseball as well? Yankees, Mets. I've done very
well. I
well.
always feel like the Mets and Jets and Yankees and Giants.
The only thing I got going is UConn, thank God. The rest of my teams are really, really, really bad.
All right, what is your prediction for the Jets this year? All right, let's say you're you're relatively healthy. Rodgers starts 15 games.
So I'm not gonna lie. There's been
and is available for the playoffs.
There's been a crazy, weird leak of the schedule already for the Jets, so I think I already know when people are playing. I think we start off 5-1.
So is that with losing week 1?
Yes.
So then you go on a 5-game rip.
I think so.
Okay.
We got really bad quarterbacks playing against us.
Okay.
Like, it's bad.
Your defense is solid.
Defense is solid.
Is New England? Wait, hold on. Is New England in that first?
I believe they
gotta be.
They were in one of them. Yeah. I think it's just one of the two.
You're looking at the big Kahuna right there, buddy.
Oh, I saw it. He looks like he could go to prom this year. It's awesome.
He's 21.
It's amazing.
I honestly, I don't really want to talk about the Patriots because I'll do that at a later show. But I want Brissett to start. I think Brissett started the whole year.
He should.
We could probably win 6 to 8 games.
I think most of these
with our defense.
Most of these rookies should sit for a few years.
Right.
Like, just
look at Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers sat for 3 years.
Patrick Mahomes sat here. Tom Brady sat here.
Oh,
do you ever heard of him?
Yeah. Remember when we hurt Drew Bledsoe?
Oh yeah, Lewis.
I was young and so excited by that injury.
He almost died.
I don't root for injuries.
Do you know that?
Yes.
He had internal bleeding.
Pretty nuts.
Almost died.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He got a ring that year.
Yeah, he did. His only one.
That roast is awesome, though. Randy Moss doesn't have one. It's phenomenal.
Second best player on that stage.
Amazing.
So
what do I think?
Is Super Bowl an aspiration, or are you more like let's just get the AFC Championship game, let's just make the playoffs?
I think
let's just get through the season.
I think we
10
can win
7.
the AFC East.
I could see that. And then after that, just it's all gravy after that.
Happens. I'm like, we haven't made the playoffs in, 13 years?
I think you're the longest drought right now, right?
All of major sports.
All of major sports?
I think so.
Oh, wow.
I think it's 13 or 14 years.
That's something to hang your hat on.
Yeah. We're solid.
But just stay healthy.
Just stay healthy. If we stay healthy, we're good. We got a shot. I think the Vegas odds kind of showed that too, but injuries are going to happen.
All right, so then I'm going to talk a little Patriots. Because last year turned into a disaster, and literally the only time I've ever rooted for the Jets in my fucking life was the last week of the year last year. I said, Jets beat us, and you're going to give us one of the top 3 quarterbacks, and that's exactly what they did.
This is what the Jets do.
In a snow fucking storm.
They win the
that
last
they
week
didn't
of the
need
year.
to win.
Remember,
they just wanted to stop the streak.
How about in 2020, was it? Or 2021, whenever the draft was happening? We had to just lose the last game. We got Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
But we had to win it, and we got Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Granted, Trevor hasn't done
but
great.
He's the best of the bunch.
Well,
a bad bunch.
Still could be very good.
About, 4 of those top 5 quarterbacks. 3 of them were traded for a 6th-round pick this year. Everyone says the 49ers were smart to get Trey Lance, get rid of him a year before. But, they didn't, no other team had Brock Purdy.
No.
You know? They got more value from him that they wouldn't have gotten this year. And then there's Trevor Lawrence, who I thought was the next. I thought he was like the next Andrew Luck kind of guy coming out. You know what I mean?
Could be.
He could be, but he's just in a shitty organization.
Yeah.
With a terrible fan. They're doing the back-to-back London games again this year.
Saw that. I was just about to say it. That's insane.
That's insane.
What are we doing?
Right?
Why are we doing 2 games over there?
Just fucking move them there.
Yeah.
You want to be international. Move to Jacksonville to London. Call them the London Jaguars or the London...
That's insane.
Fucking dildos. Whatever you want to call them. I don't know. So the Patriots, so you guys beat us. But, we lost 2 of our biggest defenders by week 4. And Christian Gonzalez, the rookie, and Matthew Judon.
Yeah.
And we were literally... In week 1, we played the Eagles, almost beat them. Week 2, we played the Dolphins, almost beat them. Then we got destroyed by the Cowboys, but that's when everyone got hurt. And then, you watched any sport long enough to know sometimes shit just spirals out of control.
Right.
And you can't stop that rolling ball down the hill. You just can't stop it. And that was the season last year for the Patriots. And as I clung on as long as I could, I have no problem tanking. As a fan, NFL is like really the only sport. Like the NBA, you can't tank anymore. Look at Atlanta Hawks got the number 1 pick.
That's crazy.
You know, like, and of course, like I still think that's fixed sometimes.
I feel like that's fixed. Yeah.
Because let's just award Atlanta to it this year so it doesn't look like it's fixed because there's no one really good coming out.
And they know Trae Young's gone too.
Yeah.
Huh.
There's no Victor Wembanyama this year. There's no LeBron James. There's no the kid from Duke, even though he's always hurt. But like, there's no big guy this year.
Oh,
it's actually
Zion.
Yeah. So Klingon's looking to go third in front of 2 more Frenchmen that no one knows about.
No one's ever seen him play.
No,
it's crazy.
So it is, you know, it's.
Yep.
I don't know. It's hard because like as much as like I want to see the Patriots, obviously, like. And this is going to sound conceited, but like no one has ever been on a 20-year run in any sport. Well, maybe the Yankees in the fucking 50s or whatever, 40s and 30s and 20s.
Yeah.
Whatever, but like
modern era.
Yeah. No one's ever been on a run like this. Like San Francisco in the 80s had a good run of like 10 wins every year for a long time, but
it wasn't 20.
It wasn't 20. And, you know, maybe KC's lined up right now, but they're really only at year 6.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
like
wild.
You know,
it's got
right?
a long way to go.
Long way to go. You know, and you got to win. You know, and I always say Brady had a 3-stage career, and each stage was a Hall of Fame career. It was the first stage, winning the 3 Super Bowls. It was the 10-year gap he didn't, but he went to 2 or 3, and had unbelievable numbers with Randy Moss and Welker. And then the last stage where he won 3 more. Like, you could break them all up in his 3 Hall of Fame careers in one career.
Are you trying to depress me?
No, I'm trying to really hype you up for this year.
So bad.
Because you have such a young and talented quarterback on your team.
Yeah, it's awesome. 40 or 41?
Yeah, I think he could play till he's 56.
I mean, he was the NFL MVP only a short 2 years ago.
All right, what do you think about him going, like, being chosen to... He was on Tucker for a while.
Yeah.
So I think he's very angry that he's been taken off of Pat McAfee.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's on like every other. I mean, I should probably message him. I might be able to get him on here.
You should. Try it. Why not? Mm-hmm. It'd be entertaining. Yes.
So you know what?
He's outrageous, but not.
You know what? And this is my own fault. I have a friend, Joe DeAngelis, who's been on the show, and he works for iHeartRadio. And the word is that iHeartRadio is going to be the official Jet radio broadcast this year. They bought the rights. I have not seen it in print yet, but he told me this all drunk one night.
Yeah.
And they're taking away from WFAN. And he said, and he told me, he's like, you know, he loves the show, he loves the concept. He's like, you know, let me know what you need from me. And I'm like, in my head, well, I'm not a Jet fan, but also in my head, I'm like, I would be stupid not to jump.
Yeah.
You know? I'll have my fucking sidekick Kyle Phillips on with me.
Here.
The most optimistic Jet fan I know.
Until it happens. Every year is our next year.
We got it this year.
And then week 1 happens. Last year, I actually legitimately thought we had a legit shot.
Right.
I was literally on a plane back from Minnesota from a wedding, watching it, flying into LaGuardia, all Jets fans or New York fans in general, watching it on the plane. 4 plays in, you hear a collective, oh, fuck. And I'm like, and my wife is sitting between me and a guy who's on the other side who were high-fiving about Mets and Jets and stuff. We're having a good time. She wasn't happy the rest of the trip. We were punching seats. We saw it pop. It was over.
Oh, yeah, you saw it pop. Yeah.
And I'm like, I never thought I had to root for Zach Wilson ever again. And
hold on. Let me interrupt you.
And then he won.
Exactly. Yeah. You guys won the game.
Unbelievable.
So I actually passed out drunk that night. Didn't see the end.
Nice.
Woke up. I'm like, holy shit, they won.
How?
So... Were your flames like back up? You're like, you know what? It's not about the quarterback this year. We got that something special. Aaron Rodgers went down, and Zach Wilson could be the guy. And then week 2 happens.
Yes. That's all I'm going to say is yes. And then it was completely deflated again. Still, 7 wins with those idiots at quarterback.
Think about it.
I know. I agree.
Like, it makes no sense. They should have won 2 games. They were that bad at quarterback. And the offensive line.
Like how you guys beat the Eagles that game.
Crazy.
That was a crazy win.
Yeah.
You should have beat Kansas City.
Yep. We literally should have beat the 3 best teams, pretty much. Beat Bills.
And you lost. What was the score of the first Patriot game? It was like it's like 13-10 or something.
Horrible.
And you almost won that game.
Yeah.
Didn't you guys like?
Should have won a game.
Yeah, we had that was like Mac Jones's one touchdown of the year. He threw that fucking random tight end over the top. Are you excited for football?
I am. Again. Always.
No, I know. It's like the longest off season.
It really sucks.
It does.
In NBA playoffs don't stop.
Or NHL.
The NBA playoffs are longer than the actual regular season.
It's
drives me nuts.
Yeah. Like the Knicks don't play again until Friday. And that's because of scheduling conflict with the... All right. I don't even talk about NBA. Celtics are rolling to the finals.
I mean, this could be Knicks, Celtics,
gonna
Bruins, Rangers.
Well, yeah, there's a lot that has to happen. In the hockey side,
that would be so awesome.
Bruins pulled off a great
That
win
would
last
actually
night.
make me interested because I hate the NBA. I'm a college guy.
Yeah.
And I don't watch NHL, like I told you, until the playoffs.
Right.
That would make me watch.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That'd be
awesome
cool.
for the area, awesome for the restaurants and bars and all that, and the fandom.
Yeah.
I think the Knicks Celtics is definitely happening.
Yeah, I agree.
The Bruins still got a lot of work to do. I think the Rangers will wrap it up. I think the Rangers will wrap it up tonight.
I think so.
Yeah.
Celtics are really good.
I mean, they don't have Porzingis right now. I mean, the problem I have with the Celtics when they get to the finals, because they'll beat New York or Indiana. They just have this, like, they're just kind of they're like every team they play, like Donovan Mitchell's not playing again tonight.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, they're favored by like 17 points tonight.
Yeah.
It might go up to 20 by game time.
It might be.
Yeah.
It really might be.
It's crazy.
And you might have to take it.
Yeah, exactly.
They should roll them.
The money line's going to be like minus 20,000.
Oh, yeah. That'll be the day you lose.
Yeah. Well, they're not a good home team in the playoffs.
$100 to win 20 cents.
They're a 500 home team in the last 3 years at home.
That's crazy.
And they're like 18-7 on the road. And they haven't won it. If they could just be a 600 team at home, they would have won a championship by now.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
So.
I didn't even think about that.
All right. Well, let's finish on on something near dear to your heart.
Ooh.
UConn.
Yes.
All right. Let's go.
There we go.
Obviously, they won their second.
Three-peat?
So I'm not going to say no, and here's why. When they won last year and lost everybody, I said, I mean, it's just so hard. Like the UCLA teams and the Duke teams, it was the same team rolling back except losing a senior or two.
Right.
And they had the great class coming in. You kind of eased the guys in.
Right.
So I didn't think it was going to happen this year. And honestly, I didn't pay attention early in the season. And then they lost to Seton Hall, right? And I'm like, yeah, all right, it is what it is. Hopefully they got some more recruits coming. And then I was in Florida and I watched a couple games in January. And then I said, all right, I'm betting on this fucking team.
Yeah.
So in Florida, you can only bet through Hard Rock Casino's app.
Right, yep.
So I download the app.
Did the same thing when I was there?
Yep. And they're at Villanova giving 4. I'm like, the way they've been playing lately, I'm loading up. So I bet on them. They were up 2. No. They were given, what the hell were they given? 3.5. They're up 2 with 20 seconds left with the ball. They get fouled. Castle gets fouled, I think. Castle or Newton. He hits both. Now they're covering with like 2.2 seconds left. I'm sitting by my house, by myself in my mom's house in Florida, probably on my 5th Redbreast whiskey.
Nice.
I'm like, I'm going to fucking score this one tonight. They inbound. The dude takes a half-court shot. Like, as he shoots it, I'm like, I saw the form and the follow-through.
I didn't know where this was going. I was at a house party, and I know where that went.
Yes.
And I lost that as well.
Yep. And this thing is dead center
Just
nuts.
Useless
3, and they win by 1. I lose the fucking bet.
Yeah,
and I'm like, fuck! I'm screaming in my house by myself. And I'm like, but luckily I hit a parlay that night, so I kind of evened out. But like, I'm like, are you I could have been up huge if that fucking...
That might have been the last time they didn't cover. They rolled.
They have covered every
They were a steam train.
I think they've covered every... So they didn't win the Big East tournament last year.
No, I was at that one, of course.
But then they covered every game in the tournament.
Yeah.
I think did they cover every game in the Big East tournament this year?
They did.
And then every game in the tournament.
Every game in the tournament.
That's insane.
Insane.
That is 16 games of covering.
Freight
or
train.
15, yeah.
Yeah, just total domination.
And like, the thing about it is, I said after last year, I have a bookie friend who I put all my bets in with. And after I just said, let it roll. And I wish I just kept doubling and doubling and doubling, but I didn't. I just stayed $100 a game. I said, dude, you guys got to be taking... Because, like, the thing is, you can't bet on UConn on FanDuel in the state. So it's like, this is where the bookies are finally getting a lot of action. And everyone's betting UConn.
They got crushed.
They got crushed 2 years in a row.
Last year, you want to know a little tidbit? Preseason, UConn not ranked.
Right.
Former player that I'm friends with talks to me and said, if you bet, put some money on UConn to win the championship. I was just up there for the last 2 weeks watching practice. Is the best team I've ever seen at UConn. I'm like, yeah, why not?
Right.
Threw $250 on it.
What was the odds back?
65-1. What? Obviously, I won that. So,
this year I was in Boston in November. The season had already started. I think they might have lost the game. And I said, "Oh, I forgot. I'm in Mass. I could bet on UConn."
Yeah.
So I went to the futures, and they were 25-1.
Yep.
At the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, they still got Klingon, and they got this rookie coming in, and Newton's fucking great. And I didn't really know much about Camp Spencer at the time. And I'm like, all right,
don't get me started on him.
So me, who fucking puts $100 on everything,
oh no,
got conservative and put $25 on
no.
it. Yes.
What?
So I won $650.
Fine.
I mean, I let it ride the whole way. But I'm like, I literally forgot about the bet. I didn't look back at it until like mid-March. I'm like, because you have to, when you're on FanDuel, you have to click on Massachusetts bets.
Oh, right.
So when you go to like your active bets,
it's not showing.
It's not showing. Yeah. So I finally like, wait a second. I thought I bet on UConn, and sure enough, comes in. I'm like, holy shit, they were plus 2,500, and I'm like, holy shit, I only bet $25.
Yeah, I put 100 on them this year. I just didn't. I didn't know. I didn't have 100% faith.
Yeah,
but
I mean, the odds are like, I think they're the favorite right now.
They're right there. Again,
right. So like the odds aren't great right now.
No.
But like let them go like 2-2 and let the odds like because I think what's his name? Hurley's such a good coach that
I'll tell you right now.
It takes a little while for these guys to
if
melt.
Alex Caravan comes back, and it still might.
He might.
He didn't do too well in the scrimmage yesterday.
Oh really?
Yeah. And now he's deciding. So
yeah.
If he comes back, this team is loaded.
Yeah.
They reloaded.
They got two great recruits. They got the transfer.
McNeely, the freshman.
The guy. So talk a little bit. So who they got coming?
So they got Mahaney from St. Mary's. He's dude that can shoot the three. He sees himself as Camp Spencer. If he does Camp Spencer,
we're in good shape.
I love it because Camp Spencer became one of my all-time favorite Huskies in 1 year there.
Yeah.
Like, kid just had balls.
Yeah.
Like, loved it. Everything about him. Watching his tape, like, he looks exactly like him. Like, same moves. I'm like, you never know. Spencer was special, though. McNeely is the freshman. He's coming. He played with Cooper Flagg.
Yeah. Who fucking dissed us for Duke.
Yeah.
Loser.
But
she says he's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Loser.
What are you doing? Like, seriously. Come on, man. But yeah, this kid looks good. Like 6'8" shooter, dunks, plays defense.
Do you think Hurley's here for the long haul? Or he's just
I do. I don't think he's
like this was the year for him to leave, I think.
I don't think he's an NBA coach because he's a psycho. He's an absolute psycho. Needs control.
Right.
Players love him. Love him.
And he's producing for them.
Yeah, if you
what we had
he's a god.
2 last year.
3.
Sorry, Sunogo didn't get there, but he's Sunogo's gonna be the best one of those 3.
You think so?
Yeah. He's only played basketball for 6 or 7 years of his life.
Yeah.
Like he came in, he dominated the G League.
Yeah.
Got like 20-20 in his the last game of the year in the NBA.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah. This year it's 4 guys potentially in the
two in the lottery.
Yeah, for sure.
I think. What do you think about Klingon?
I don't know.
I just feel like he's.
I don't know.
What's crazy to me is how like Vegas works with like so they played Purdue in the final against
Edie manhandled.
Edie, right?
He's a monster.
And Edie is like projected to go to the Celtics with the 32nd pick, and Klingon 3rd.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't get it. And
Edie's offensive game is so much better than Klingon's.
Hey, the thing that shocked me, this combine thing, I was watching yesterday. Edie was faster in the 3-quarter sprint, had a higher vertical, whatever the other things, it beat Klingon every single aspect of it.
Right.
What? Klingon looked faster. Like, how's he not faster?
Right.
Why is he getting drafted higher?
Right.
I don't get it.
I just feel it's going to be like a Hasim Thabit thing all over again.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, I love Klingon, don't get me wrong.
I think Klingon, if he came back for one more year, 100% we are a 3-peat.
Oh, yeah.
And 100%, he becomes a better basketball player.
Right.
He's going to learn more at college than he is sitting on the bench in the
And
NBA.
just stay in. You have the NILs now. You don't need to go chase that money.
Sure. You can get paid while actually getting
It's like Caitlin Clark. Oh, that's what I want to finish.
Oh, yeah.
You watched Caitlin last night.
So I caught your podcast with Spins.
Yeah.
I also do not like WNBA basketball.
Yeah.
And no, I did not watch it. I just saw the highlights.
Yeah.
10 turnovers?
Yeah.
Come on. She's going to be good.
So there was so much going on last night for me. So I had the Bruins game on 36.
Yeah.
The Knicks game was on 37.
Yeah.
My Red Sox were on 65. And as I'm flipping around, I accidentally hit the down button on 36. And the fucking WNBA game was on. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. It's Caitlin Clark's first game. So I turn it on and she's not in. So apparently she got 2 quick ticky-tack fouls right off the rip. I'm like, wow, way to market your league, WNBA.
Yeah.
You're really going to take her out of the game?
First sellout in 21 years in Mohegan. Let's keep her in the game no matter what. Honestly, might be the first. I'm a UConn person.
Right.
I barely watch UConn women's basketball.
Right.
But I watched a lot of Caitlin Clark down the stretch. It was intriguing to me.
Right.
So I'm going to watch WNBA.
This is my scouting report. I watched a little bit of in between the
Guys
intermissions. It's awful.
It's so slow.
It's awful.
Yeah.
She looked small.
Yeah.
Really small
She
out
did.
there. So she can't. In college, she could drive and get a layup or kick.
Yeah.
It's like going into trees now.
Yeah.
It's a whole different game.
Yeah.
And she ended up with 21 points, whatever. She's going to hit her threes.
She'll adjust.
She's going to hit her threes. But that's it.
The whole concept of women finish, they got the draft 3 weeks later, and then literally the league starts in a week.
Right.
It's insane.
Right.
She just met her teammates 2 weeks ago.
Right. They have 2 preseason games.
It's absolutely insane.
Right.
She'll be fine.
Yeah, the whole offseason.
Tarazi and those
guys. So
here's not going to let her score.
This, again, what kills me about how they market this league is you start her. If this is your golden child, this is your ticket.
Yeah.
And I know all the other girls that got drafted or have been in the league are kind of poo-pooing her, which they should embrace her.
Yep.
Understand what
she's only going to help their pockets.
Right. Put your ego aside and think about how this is going to help this league grow. Did you see their first 4 games? It's last night, which they lost by 20.
Yeah.
Now it's the Aces twice, and then back, and then against Connecticut. So they're probably going to be 0-4.
They're going to be 0-4.
And then everyone's going to forget about
so
her.
Bad. Why would you do that?
Why would you do that? Or rig the lottery. Do they even have a lottery? I don't even know. I could be totally
They
wrong.
actually might not.
This might be the worst team against the best pick.
It's
I got to research that.
I actually don't know.
If you have a lottery, rig it.
I actually watched the draft though.
Oh, you mean at that little theater with 7 tables up front?
Yeah. I was very shocked with Caitlin Clark.
And I hate to make fun of it, but it's just they throw it down your throat.
Yeah. Oh, it's bad.
I was watching not PTI, the stupid show before it, Around the Horn.
Yeah.
They did a whole segment on. They went through each panelist on who their prediction was to win the title this year.
Oh, jeez.
It's who the really. I know they give them homework assignments and shit. They all said 3-peat for the Aces, I think. Or no.
It is the Aces.
Liberty? Aces.
Yeah.
That's Vegas.
Yeah.
And New York's the Liberty, right? Who are the 2 best teams? I think they faced off last
so,
year.
yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, my friend.
Yeah.
It's time to turn off the
We
cameras.
finish it with WNBA. That just happened.
Well,
Get it.
well, I just thought of Caitlin Clark.
It is.
All right, well, all right. UConn women. We'll finish with that.
All right.
Because I'm sure you follow that.
Yeah, I do.
I count UConn women's 11 championships as, on my bedpost as
Nice.
championships I've seen in my lifetime.
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
not?
yeah.
It's a nice little 11 to throw on top of the.
Oh, I knew you were going there.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
What is it, 6 now with the men? Yeah. So that's 17.
Yeah. It's awesome.
So I've been watching the UConn men since 88. 89. So that was the Cliff Robinson years into, Chris Smith and all that, Scotty Burrell.
You going to watch the TBT tournament? UConn's got a team in it this year.
Oh, yeah?
I think it's TBT. Chris Smith's going to coach it. Him and his son. And they got...
Now, you know Smith.
Yeah.
He hangs out at Dockside, doesn't he?
Yeah, Dockside, Ale
gotta
House.
get him
He's
on
all
the
over
show.
the place. Yeah, he would love to.
Yeah. I tried to get Scotty Burrell on. I golfed with him. And then I have his phone number. And I
get
tell
him.
When you see Scotty, tell him. Scotty. He'll remember me.
Scotty.
He's a fucking... I got to tell you a story about
He's good
Scotty
dude.
off the air.
Yeah, they got a good team finally. Just finally getting some momentum with the NIL stuff, raising money.
Yeah.
UConn's actually going to try to be a player with it. It's good.
Nice.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Good summer.
So I think Paige Beckers is
Phenomenal.
well, yeah, she's phenomenal. But
She's a superstar.
the biggest thing about everyone's like kind of dissing UConn, but they've been so injured the last 3 years, 4
And
years.
the best part is it's probably Gino's best job ever.
Yeah.
He made a Final Four with a team that had 6 healthy players.
Right.
Like
They had no
insane.
bench.
Insane. Literally
No
no,
bench.
one.
And should have beaten Iowa.
Yeah.
Should have beaten
And
Iowa.
had no one.
You couldn't put anybody in.
One of the worst calls I've seen in the end of the game.
Oh, don't know. If the center was 3 inches shorter, that call doesn't get made.
Right.
It was a big girl against a little girl.
Right.
Stupid. Didn't make the call game.
So stupid.
Yeah.
All right, so are you cool finishing on women's
we're
college
fine with
basketball?
that. We're fine with that. We're fine with that. Just not WNBA. Can't do it.
Thanks so much for coming on and telling your story. I know it's hard, and I appreciate it. And I'm glad you're here. Glad your wife's here. I love Hot Shot. He wants to come on the show, but that's probably a bad idea for my
Totally
show.
a horrible idea.
But it could
It
be
would be
fun.
entertaining.
It would be fun though. And everyone else was there.
Gotta have some restrictions for it.
Yeah. It's called I need the mute button like they
Yes,
have it around the
mute
horn. Yeah. Again, thanks so much. Hang around with me for a little bit if you can. We'll have a couple more Vivas and
That sounds like a great plan.
all right, and maybe some whiskey. I got some nice whiskeys. I'm staring at this whole show.
I was staring at those the whole time.
All right,
It's good.
Kyle Phillips, you're the man. Thanks so
Jeremy.
much. Absolutely, go Jets, go Pats. Let's go to a game this year.
Sounds good.
All right.
Did you say go Jets?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Let's go.
I root for my buddies with the New York Rangers. I don't care.
Awesome.
I'm way too old to like do all that like petty fucking.
Yeah, right.
"Brr, fuck you. What the fuck? Bruins are gonna lose tomorrow night, and I'll wake up the next day. You know what? My life's good.
They're not going to lose.
I know. I love it.
Let's go.
They're coming back, baby. Let's go. Peace.